So, what do you want to teach your toddler? Hi, welcome to Miss Julie's Montessori Minutes. I'm Miss Julie here with some strategies for how to teach your toddler using Montessori principles. How to do anything. And there are some basic principles of how we teach toddlers using the Montessori method based on what we know about the nature of toddlers, and using that knowledge and our observations of the unique child before us, we use strategies that are the most effective for teaching a child a new skill. And this approach works for toddlers and preschoolers, as they're both in the period of that absorbent mind and their sensorial explorers. All right, ready? Here we go. The first important strategy is to offer language and the physical demonstration of the skill separately. In other words, don't talk and move at the same time when you're demonstrating a physical skill, whether it's a gross motor skill like how to do a somersault, or a fine motor skill like how to slice a cucumber. Say words, then move. Don't do both at the same time. And why is this? The toddler child and a preschool age child are both in sensitive periods for movement and for language. Dr. Montessori described the sensitive period as a period of time where nature is like they're shining a spotlight on acquisition of this skill. And the child is just drawn to learning about that skill, to observing other people doing that skill. Just it's a light shining on it. So the child has a spotlight on language and a spotlight on movement. And there's other sensitive periods too. Do another video about those maybe. So there's a spotlight on language. We know the newborn looks at the face, watches the lips, learn how to speak. Their little neck follows the adult, focus on that language, and that continues as the child grows. Same time, the child is grown to movement. They're developing their gross motor skills and their fine motor skills, and there's that spotlight shining on movement too. So when we offer a new skill, that's a physical task, and there's going to be language associated with that skill, we're offering them both at the same time, two spotlights, right, on separate things. So which one is the child going to look at? They'll either try to focus on both, which will be very distracting and difficult, and they won't be able to focus completely on either one and get all they can from either one. Or they'll choose one over the other. Here's an example. I was working in a primary classroom, and there's a little boy, he's like 21 now. I remember this when I had this aha moment. So he was doing wood polishing. He's new to the work and was asking, do I use the applicator or the polishing cloth for the polish? So I said to him, dip the applicator in the polish. As I was showing him with my bare fingers, mimicking putting my fingers in the polish bowl. In that moment, he chose to focus on my movement, which was my bare fingers in the polishing bowl, and not listen to the fact that I'd said dip the applicator in the polish. And so what did he do, having focused on my movements? He dipped his fingers in the polish. Of course he would, because that's what he was paying attention to. So it's important to offer words separately from the skill. So let me just do a little demonstration with you. So when showing a child, in this case, how to pour water into a vase using a funnel, we want to separate the language from the movement. So I would invite the child, I'm going to show you how to fill a vase with water. And then I would name the items: vase, pitcher, funnel. I named all all of the items that were being used so they'd have the vocabulary if you're introducing a skill that they don't know the names of the items that they're using. So it's very clear that way versus combining, which could be, okay, I have a vase and I have a pitcher, and you go like that and you put the pitcher inside and you make sure it's really secure, and you go like this and you pour, and then the water's going in, down, 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 lots of water. Now the water's more full. It's a lot to take in. And so the child's either going to try to focus on your words or on your actions, and both will kind of be muddled. Whereas when I separated it out, it's very clear what the process was. We remember that the child has an absorbent mind, and when we present things slowly and clearly, they'll see what's happening, and then they'll know. They don't need an explanation. Now, if they want to talk about it, if that is their interest afterwards, then that's fine, of course. It's hard if you're super chatty. It can take practice, but you can do it. And remember, there's plenty of time to talk when you're not showing that skill, if they want to have a conversation later. So you're not denying them language, you're allowing them the ability to focus on movement, which they naturally want to do, and our words can be a distraction. A second important thing to remember when you're teaching your toddler a new skill is to have them sit on your non-dominant side. I'm about hand dominance here. Your non-dominant side when you're teaching them a fine motor skill. So I'm just going to demonstrate. I want to do this in the air with a child. I am right-handed, so I'm going to have you on my left side. Okay, I'm going to turn, versus if I had you, see, sitting on that side of me, you would not have a clear view of what I'm doing. So if you're teaching a real precise skill, like something new in the kitchen, a new kitchen tool, or maybe he or she is wanting to practice writing their name and wanting you to model writing, have them on your non-dominant side. So that depends on whether you're left or right-handed, right? My third tip on how to teach your toddler a new skill has to do with grace and courtesy. Grace and courtesy in the Montessori classroom refers to manners and how we treat each other, how we move around the classroom, that sort of thing. Oftentimes we have the idea, I should teach my child how to do that in a moment when we're having to correct their behavior or something has happened, they're upset, maybe we're even a little upset, and we realize, I've got to teach my child that. It is often best to wait after you've corrected the child if you need to, if there's danger to someone's feelings or to someone's body or in the environment, and you have to intervene or redirect. Wait until you're calmer, wait until the child is calmer, and teach the child what they need to know. So in a Montessori classroom, we regularly have just one-on-one little lessons on how to behave, and we try to teach them when the child's not upset. Of course, we never get upset, but when emotions are running high, the fight or flight or freeze instinct kicks in, and we're not in a good space for learning. We're in a protective mode. So the child's brain isn't really relaxed and ready to process new information or care about new information. Let's say your child has been throwing dishes in the sink, right? And a dish breaks, okay? And they're upset because they broke the dish. They know that's not a good thing, all right? And you know the consequence that the dish broke. And then, and you're not going to be upset, it's just a dish, right? But maybe it keeps happening and you're a little annoyed and the child is upset. Wait until things are calm again and say to the child, want to show you how you can put a dish into the sink without breaking it. And then show them how to walk carefully, hold it with two hands lower, show the movement separate from talking. And then you could point out again with words what you did after you've shown how to do that action gracefully. So give those grace and courtesy lessons when the child is calm. Another example might be if they're pulling toys out of their sibling's hand, the sibling gets mad, yelling if they're older, stomping off, crying if they're a baby. The other child has to be calmed down, snapped maybe, because this has been going on all afternoon. So wait until everything's peaceful and then give a little lesson on what you can do when the baby takes your toy away from you, or your older brother, using whatever without permission, and then give a lesson on how you could do that. So that's a common one here. So in our case, the lesson would be you can put your hand out like that to ask for it. Also, when the environment's calm, all humans involved are calm, you're able to present in a more graceful way. So there's that too. The most important thing in teaching your child a new skill is to trust in the child. We say that a lot in the Montessori community, trust in the child. And what I mean in this case is to trust in the child's inner powers for learning. So the toddler child has that absorbent mind that takes in information without discretion. They have the sensitive periods. We talked about 2 of those. It's like nature shines a spotlight on language and shines a spotlight on movement. And only the child knows exactly how strong that spotlight is on what they're primed and motivated to learn. Coupled with that is a child has an inner teacher guiding them to develop. And Montessori discovered, and we know, 100 years later to be true, is that the child will develop no matter where they live in the world. They'll develop in a certain order. Certain skills come before the other, and we just provide the materials and the environment and the adult to help guide them in the acquisition of those skills. But we can trust that the child has that inner teacher and knows the timeline for that child. And so we don't have to worry, my niece is really into letters right now, and my son seems completely focused on Play-Doh and, what gives. Well, encourage what the child is interested in at the moment. Trust that they know, and they will develop what needs to be developed. That inner teacher is guiding them. We just need to give them opportunities and information and patient guidance. So trust that that child has those sensitive periods, that inner teacher, the absorbent mind, and the child is primed to learn. It's their whole job in life is to learn. And so observe the child, trust in the child that they will progress along this timeline as long as we are there ready to demonstrate skills and ready to offer the child materials. And, check your pride. Don't get offended if your child is not, in fact, in the mood to learn how to draw a circle that day, right? I'll let you know. Thanks for watching till the end. If you did, perhaps that means you liked this video. So please click on the thumbs up below, or maybe you didn't and you're highly bothered by this video. Comment, let me know why in the comment section below. And if you've watched a few of my videos, I'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe. Lets the YouTube gods know this might be some good information that other people could use. All right, thanks for watching. And remember, I publish videos on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.